Trent Alexander-Arnold has confessed that his decision to leave Liverpool was the most difficult of his life. The England international, now plying his trade at Real Madrid after signing a 6-year contract, left some Red supporters disgruntled with the way he departed. Ex-Liverpool forward Michael Owen, who also made the move to Madrid during his career, suggested that die-hard fans would always back the club over the player. Towards the end of last season, certain sections of the fan base gave Alexander-Arnold a hard time, leading to Player of the Season Mohamed Salah calling on fans not to jeer him. In an interview with GQ Espana, Alexander-Arnold has shed more light on his reasons for swapping Anfield for the Bernabeu. "It was one of the hardest decisions of my life. Liverpool is my home. It made me who I am. But Madrid felt like the right step at the right time," he said as he echoed his thoughts from his farewell message to Reds fans. "It was ambition and a personal desire for change, to challenge myself in a new environment. Of course, Real Madrid's legacy is undeniable. But more than that, what attracted me was my ambition and the desire to test myself in new surroundings. It's a challenge, but one I welcome. Playing at the Bernabeu is sacred. You can feel the weight of the shirt. But that's what drives you to give it your all." Owen's stint in Madrid was short-lived, lasting only a year before he returned to the Premier League with Newcastle. He expressed his thoughts on the fan reaction to Alexander-Arnold's move during an episode of the Rio Ferdinand Presents podcast earlier this week. "I didn't like it," he admitted, referring to the backlash against the defender. "I understand it, of course. We understand it because we live it, and we've lived it all our life, and we're in and around football. But fans will never get it because they've got a badge there, and until the day they die, they will always support that badge. And no matter what the club do, they might do wrong." Alexander-Arnold has started 2 of Real Madrid's 3 La Liga matches this season, making a late appearance as a substitute in the other, but is yet to find his stride. Los Blancos have maintained a perfect record under new manager Xabi Alonso, with Arda Güler and Vinicius Jr. scoring in a recent victory over Mallorca. However, he has been omitted from England's squad, with Thomas Tuchel opting for Chelsea's Reece James and versatile Newcastle fullback Tino Livramento over the Madrid player. "I spoke to Trent. It was a difficult phone call, but I wanted him to hear it from me, which he appreciated, and he was very clear that he's desperate and keen to come back and play for England," Tuchel revealed. "It's all in the mix, but it is a competitive decision. And just to make the competition a little bit more spicy, first and foremost, I think Trent is a player who needs to feel trust and love from his manager and teammates and from his club, his country, and the fans. He needs that. Reece is at the moment slightly ahead in this position, given what he did for us in the last 2 camps and how he played the Club World Cup with Chelsea. And then we went for Tino Livramento because of the rhythm that he has, and he gives us the option to cover both sides. Ben White had a very good chance to be with us. I was very happy with his preseason and the feedback I got from him and from the club about his preseason. He started straight away, got injured. That ruined his chances with us. He would have had a very good chance with us. Liverpool may have been toppled as the team in pole position to sign Crystal Palace defender Mark Guéhi. When the team sheets were distributed at Villa Park on Sunday evening, 25 hours and change before the transfer deadline, there were 2 noteworthy selections. The first was Aston Villa goalkeeper Marco Bizot. The 34-year-old was named in Unai Emery's starting lineup for the 2nd time in 3 Premier League matches, this time because Emiliano Martinez was deemed too distracted by a possible move to Manchester United. The second was Crystal Palace captain Mark Guéhi, also close to a transfer but seemingly more capable of fulfilling the basic requirements of a professional footballer. Guéhi had a comfortable evening and capped it off with a tremendous goal that was hailed as a glorious goodbye. Guéhi was all set for Liverpool. With the Premier League champions keen to bring him in and Guéhi's contract up next summer, the fact that he remains a Palace player doesn't truly satisfy any party. Liverpool didn't get their man and will face new competition for his signature next summer. Guéhi, positive about the move but not of a mind to act up about it, isn't where he wanted to be. Palace themselves made a costly decision to keep their captain on deadline day and massively increase the chances of losing him for free in a year's time. According to Sam Wallace of The Telegraph, that's exactly the situation they'd previously resolved to avoid. Over the past 12 months, the logic was that losing him for free in the summer was the doomsday scenario to be avoided at all costs. Yet when push came to shove, with injuries to consider, and Palace's determination to secure a replacement before allowing Guéhi to leave still unmet, the England defender was retained. Guéhi was thrust into comparisons with Alexander Isak and Yoane Wissa, players who have been rather more proactive in securing their desired transfers this summer. Isak and Wissa made themselves unavailable for selection and got what they wanted. Guéhi remained professional to the last and didn't. Yet it soon emerged that the precarious contract situation and conflicting priorities at Selhurst Park created significant tensions and could have been avoided for the right fee. Oliver Glasner was looking from the perspective of a manager in 4 competitions this season, and with a team currently playing some of the best football in the Premier League, reports Wallace. Glasner is understood to have dug his heels in to block a sale. The job of the club, of course, takes in other considerations too, including their long-term financial health. A successor for Guéhi would have enabled a transfer to Liverpool, but in the end, it all came down to the fee. Palace decided they could sacrifice £35 million and lose Guéhi for nothing. A higher bid would have changed that. Had Liverpool offered £55 million for Guéhi, then the deal would have been done, claims Wallace. It may be Liverpool again this time next year, or even in January, or it may be elsewhere, perhaps even Real Madrid, the world's leading dealer in high-end free agents. In 442's opinion, Palace's obvious move on deadline day was to take Liverpool's money and run. Even with another successful season under his belt, losing Guéhi for free is bound to sting. But the real question, if reports are to be believed, is whether that £35 million in the coffers and on the books would have been worth Glasner's resignation. That's a much more difficult decision.